Gentry, first of all, I guess, how you feeling? How's the spring going for you?
It's been good, man. I'm glad to be back out here with the guys. It's been a long season. Just grateful to be back out here and have the opportunity to compete again with the guys.
Just how frustrating was last year the way things went for you?
Obviously, it's tough, but it's a team sport, and I still wanted to be there for my guys. Like RJ, he had an excellent season. Grayson Halton had an excellent season. So taking my, what I went through, my struggles, but letting somebody else understand that they had great seasons and living through them and seeing them shine, and it made it a lot better for me going through those tough times.
How do you rebound just from a confidence standpoint when you've had multiple injuries over a couple of years?
Just stay true to who I am, straight trusting God, trusting Coach Vlad, trusting Coach Venables, and trusting my teammates that I'm going to be who I am and show them every day. I got to prove them and gain their trust every single day, and that's just what I want to do. I've been through things, but God's got a plan for me, and I'm going to keep going.
How has it been for you? You feel confident in your shoulder at this point?
I feel really good. Every day is a new challenge, but I feel amazing. I'm grateful for this opportunity. I feel great, and I'm ready for the season when it comes.
I'm sorry. Is RJ kind of a guy you can look at too? He had that early shoulder problem, but last year became the player that a lot of people thought he could be.
Now that's my brother. Words can't even explain how thankful for I am on and off the field. Man, he's been there for me throughout everything in my life, and since being in college, he's been there every step of the way. So when I had this surgery, man, I remember when I came back to the house, I had surgery in Tulsa. When I came back, he was just screaming, G-Dub, G-Dub. So it was like a moment that we had, and just like seeing his success this year was amazing. I felt like I had success, so it was great.
I asked BJ about family support going through injury. What about your family support? How big has that been for you?
Amazing. That's my rock. I do it for them. That's the reason I'm still out here and keep going. And my dad, my mom, my little sister, man, everybody, I can't, words cannot explain, how grateful I am for them, and I will keep going for them.
Everything that you went through just with the shoulder, the issues prior to it that led to the diagnosing and all that. Can you talk about what Coach Venables was through all that to you?
Coach Venables, he's been on my side through everything. I do applaud him, and I'm thankful for them that he's going to continue to give me this opportunity to be out here and play with the team. That's the biggest thing. I want to continue to play with them, and he's been a very great support system. Him and Coach Vlad have been very supportive, and I appreciate that. I really do.
Going back to it all mentally, like his first day on the job, he drives to Tulsa to recruit you, to keep recruiting. Have you talked to him about that through the years, or have you thought about that moment when he shows up like that?
Yeah, we've had conversations about that. He talks about my Boogie T days every now and then, about me playing every position, quarterback, everything but corner, basically. So we joke about that, but it's been grateful to have him and Coach Vlad, and basically the whole defensive staff still been here since I've been here, so that's been amazing.
Gentry, what can you tell us about what you're seeing in practice from this offense from John Matier as a quarterback?
Just being competitive. I think just all of what he brings, him and Coach Arbuckle, they just want to be competitive. And Mike done a great job with that too. He's running his group, John's running his group, Jet, and all the quarterbacks are just running their group, trying to be the best that they can do. I think that's been great, and we do appreciate that on the defensive side.
What have you seen from Giovanni, and what does he bring to that offense?
Electric. He's an electric receiver. I think he brings great size, strong hands. He's been really good. I think he's progressing with the offense. He's learning it really well at this level. And I think he's going to continue to do good.
What's Satania?
I met him in high school, one of the faster dudes. So, I think he's doing really good. I think he's been helping us a lot. He'll be able to move around, and I'm just excited for him. He can catch the ball and run fast. So, we need people like that.
Going back to the team, what stood out to you about the leadership aspect of the way he's handled integrating himself with his team?
Yeah, I think just with the new age of college football, everybody has expectations, and I think he puts expectations on himself to be great, and he doesn't let anybody outside noise bother him, and I think that's been the biggest thing. He's a real person. He wants to compete just like everybody else, and that's what he's doing, and we do appreciate that everybody on the team does.
You've been around the program a long time. You went here, obviously. You got to see it during the springtime when you were getting recruited and all that type of stuff. Can you compare last year, this year, just kind of the vibe of the team, maybe offensively, what you see? Is there a difference that you've noticed?
I think every team has its different identity. Obviously, this team has a different quarterback, a different offensive coordinator. So, I think the traits of that coordinator, will resemble. And I think that, Arbuckle and that Matier are doing a great job of that. And then Mike as well. They're all emulating their offensive coordinator. It just, spreading across the offense, and I enjoy it. It brings energy.
Is there confidence? Is there a different level of confidence, maybe?
I would say it's still early to tell. They're doing a great job. We're having fun, which is the biggest thing. We're getting better. We can see it.
Gentry, how much fun was it to see Eli have the year that he had last year?
Eli was doing that in the spring, so shoot, it was kind of like expectation for him. Shoot, Bowen strapped. Everybody know that. So it wasn't really a surprise because how detailed he is and how smart and how focused he is. You don't see that at a young age. So I'm just completely happy for him. I know the success rate for him is going to continue to rise.
With so many new receivers in that offense, who's been giving you guys the most trouble defensively so far?
Sure, with defense, we got Coach Venable, so it's kind of that's kind of hard just to get us all the time. But they're all doing really good. I mean, we named a couple, Giovanni, Isaiah. They're all doing good, man. I'm proud of the whole group. They've all come in because they're mostly transfers. So to come in and learn the playbook this fast and play at a high level, I'm proud of them. So I think that's been good.
You guys lost two, I guess, big leaders for you guys in Stutzman and Bowman last year. Anybody picked up in those two roles?
Yeah. So I think G-Baby's done a really good job. Kobe's done a really good job. Kip, RJ, all those guys, they played a lot last year and they were able to, to develop into that leadership role that Danny and Billy left for them. And I think they're doing a tremendous job, Even on the offensive side, Troy Everett's doing a really good job. Mateer's really doing a good job. Mike Hawkins is doing a really good job. So it's been a co-unit with everybody doing a really good job.